Oh boy. Hang on. All right. Oh, hello. How are you going? I've got a mess everywhere because we've been moving. Hi, Phil. Ah, Don's Tricks. How you going, mate? You going well? Great progress on the ute, mate. I've just got crap everywhere. You can see tubs of mum's clothes and all this because we've been moving her out into this place. Owen O'Neill, how are you going? Nasty welding. Hope you're well. So with you, how are you? So how is everyone? I thought I'd do a live feed because I haven't done one for a while. Last one was with Rosie and that was really good. But I haven't done one. Hello, Katie. How you going? And Yorkshire, UK. I've got your tea. I don't know, I've run out. I drink Yorkshire tea. Ah, look, hang on. There you go. It's my favourite stuff. Yes, good. Thanks, Don. Sorry to hear about your dad. That's awful. I'm going through the same thing with Mum at the moment. She's still alive. They did a shoot on the news, and they invited me to come with Mum. And Mum was quite chatty. She was having a good day, but they didn't film that part. They sort of just, you know, I just said a few words, and that was pretty much it. There was another lady there that it was quite good. Mum's a lot better than she was, but we didn't think she'd make Christmas the way things were. She was pretty, and it's hard with her. She put us all through private schools, and she put us all through university, her 3 kids. She helped us with our houses. Mum's done everything, and she came out without much at all. We've already got a spam. Patrick Weber, how are you going? She must be, yeah, she is. They gave her a bloody, we thought she had dementia. She's forgetting everything, and she couldn't balance, and she was incontinent, and she's never been anything like that. And so they thought it might be dementia, but they couldn't diagnose it because she had fluid on the brain. So they said, it's a simple procedure. We'll just put a shunt in, and a shunt's like a catheter from her head down to her abdomen somewhere. And they did that, and she came out 3 hours under a general, which we didn't know. We were told it was simple, but it's a brain operation. We didn't know it would be as bad as it was. And hi, Graham. How are you from Perth? Good to see you. And we just thought, what have we done to her? That was the dumbest thing we've done. Thanks, Fat Fords. Got to get back onto my Fat Ford too. I was looking at it today. I'm looking at the guard. I've got to do the 2 front guards on the XC, door rubbers, tail shaft, get the headlights resilvered, and we're driving. I've got to get some disc brake hoses for the back. I mean, I can, you got no mods on the XC, do you mean? No, it's fairly stock. It's got a cam and a few other bits and pieces in it. Stage 4, 4B valves, that sort of thing. Stage 4 lockdown must be pissing you off, Pete. I know it's pissing me off. I have to wait a week for water. Yeah, water pump. I've ordered some parts. They're in the garage. And they came fairly quickly. There was some plug lead ends for this bike, and there was a 250 badge for the side and all this sort of stuff. And it all came, mate, am I having a cup of tea? It all came very quickly, but I've ordered the piston kits and everything through Cruise and Image, which is Japanese, and God knows when that's going to get in. Yorick. Yeah, no, I don't know Yorick. Is that your name or? Hello, Gary. How are you going? Bob from England, new to your channel. Love it. Thank you very much, Bob. Which part of England are you from? My family are all from Manchester. Are you from the north or the south? Normally it's Michael Hunt. That's what you normally say. But anyway. So yeah, I'm waiting on parts, and we've had a very expensive year with everything's gone wrong. We've had to have the plumbers out a couple of times, and there's been problems with a lot of things. From Kent. Okay, is Kent the Midlands? I'm just trying to think where Kent is. Been waiting for a new vid. Yes, there's one. I'm putting. Oh, okay. I miss England. I spent a lot of time in England as a kid. I went to school in Blackpool, and there was, because Mum's family were from Britain, and we had this house, Preselli, in Lytham, St Anne's, and it was on the promenade. And over the road from the house was Fairhaven Lake, and you would look out the window, the dining room, the lounge room, Grandpa's bedroom, all this. You look out the windows, and there'd be Fairhaven Lake, and over that was a real estuary, and quite often the tide was out, so it just looked like a mud flat. But when the tide was in, you just had all this sea that you could look out, and it was the most beautiful house. London, Kent's in the south. I beg your pardon. Sorry about my ignorance. And yeah, we spent quite a lot of time there, and then I went back a couple of times. I was 10, and then went back when I was 20, and then I went back when I was 22 or something. But now the house is gone. It was a beautiful 7-bedroom place. They were quite wealthy, Mum's family, but she's Jewish and Dad wasn't, and so she didn't get any money when she left and came to Australia. Hello, Pirate. How are you? Have I watched Jack? This guy is spamming me, I reckon. A friend just moved to Lytham St Anne's and loves it. It's beautiful. Apparently it's full of retirees now. I don't know. But it was always a very clean, nice area. Really nice area. And I remember it. I remember a lot of the shops there. A lot of them would be gone now. Grandma used to go there. She died at 104. You sent to a private school? Well, yes, it was Yarra Valley Grammar. Well, it was Yarra Valley when I started there in 1971. It was Yarra Valley Church of England. Then it was Yarra Valley Anglican. Now it's Yarra Valley Grammar. How did you know? Did you go there too? Love the series on the XC. Gave me the inspiration to get back into restoring my 4.9 Fairmont. That's what mine is too. Mine's a 4.9 Fairmont GXL, but it's got a different engine now. Hello, John. How are you going? I haven't seen you for a while. Haven't heard from you on the old phone either. Are you still doing John Mally's stuff? I think he's finished that Hornet, or he's doing that Hornet. He's nearly finished it, I think. He wanted me to paint it. Hello, Nathan. Now, who's this? Nathan who? If you're calling me Mr. Anderson, I'm tipping you from school. Bill Billy, how you going? How's it going, Pete? Love watching your videos. Very informative, and your knowledge on very early forwards is excellent. Thank you very much. I've had a few of them now. Hello from Perth. How are you going? Hello, Jimmy. How's the start? Starley's good. I was just in the Starley before I had to go to the shops to get some urgent supplies. So the Starley's on full-time daily duty. And it's a great little car. It does everything I wanted to because I've sort of built it the way I wanted it. What am I up to? Why is the imports must have engine removed older cars prior to export? Probably because a lot of the older cars have a lot of asbestos. Oh, JDM imports. Is it, pardon me, is it to do with asbestos? Don't know. How are you going with sourcing parts for the two-stroke? Not bad. I've got everything I need. I'm just trying to think what else I need. I ordered what did I order? Speedo cable, pistons, badges, hoses, and all sorts of stuff. What do we got? The 302 is good. The bike's good. Really enjoying your projects. You've been giving me some motivation to get stuck into mine. I've got an XM Ute with putting an injected 302. Man, that is going to fly. And the other thing is, those injected Windsors are very easy to wake up just with software. Apparently, I was talking to some guy. I don't know much about them. If they've got the GD40 heads, the standard 302 injected engine, fairly docile until you wake it up. And when they wake up, nothing will catch them. They're incredible. Something's held from view. Oh, I can show that. The paint on the Starlet, no, it actually looks fine. In bright sunlight at a certain angle, so it's like one of those jobs. You just don't see it unless you're sort of in the right spot, and then you see it everywhere, all over the top. But no, it doesn't bother me. The car's nice and clean and shiny and drives beautifully. I'm not worried at all. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm not going to redo it. XA Coupe guy, hey, how you going, buddy? I love your work. You're a clever guy. You do a lot of good stuff. How's the engine stand going? XA Coupe guy, is your name Graham? I'm going to guess, Graham. Built an engine stand a bit like the one I did. Mine's in the shed. It's buried in a whole lot of stuff. I can't even get to it. Yeah, asbestos gaskets. I thought that might be the case. I know the Chinese were using them on their Great Walls, and they were asked to, how did it work? They were asked to recall the cars and replace the gaskets. I said no. So the Aussie government said, well, don't sell them here then. COVID problems in Melbourne. I've really enjoyed your videos, and more XC videos in the spring. I'll start it about September, next month, month after, whenever I have reliable weather where it's fine, I can push the cars out that haven't got glass in them, or the Plymouth, pull the XC. Half the problem with the XC is it's a pain in the neck to get to. It's my fault. I've sort of hemmed myself in at the back. 11:35 a.m. here in Ireland. What time is it there? It is 8:35 p.m. on the 13th of August. So your name is Norm. Hang on. What do you think of the new MGs? Thinking of buying a ZS, but it's Chinese. I think they are Chinese. One of my kids bought one, which is the SUV one. I think that's a ZS. It's a very nice car. The only thing that I saw, which I really didn't like, is when I went to check the oil. The timing chain looks like the sort of thing you'd put on your wrist for a wristwatch. It's very, very thin. And I know Mercedes-Benz had that problem with the 380 engines. And I think some of the 5-litre ones in the early 80s, the 126 Mercs, they used to snap timing chains. I just don't think there's any reason why you can't put a double row in everything. G'day, Peter, saying hi from Pattaya. Is it Thailand? I'm from Melbourne, living here for 3 years. Staying safe and well. Good on you, Rod. Nice to see you. What's Gape Horn? Who's Yorak Hunt? I'm not going to say it quickly because it'll sound like something else. Nathan, are you from school? Mine's hanging on the wall, and thanks for the good words. Oh, you got the engine stand hanging on. I made mine so the radiator upright was kind of welded to the bottom, and have fun hanging that up. You could put a jet engine on it. I mean, they're that sturdy. Yours is the same. I mean, you could stick a big Cummins truck engine on that thing. There's no way it's going to. Because when the engines are sitting there, you can have a good 351 on. And you rev them, and they want to talk over, but they're not under load. The moment you put them under load, that's when they want to jump around. But any engine, I put big blocks on mine. I had a 390 big block on mine. Not a problem. And mine was a copy of the Easy Run engine stand, which is an American product, and it's 10 times stronger than one of those. I just couldn't afford to buy one. I built mine, I think, all up for $500, and I was using all these autometer gauges and you know, all this sort of stuff. So I did mine because I sort of wanted it like that. But, you know, if I had my time again, I would have made it probably a bit smaller. Can you explain what's about the ZC that had the option for the 351 was the same as the GT? Yes, it was a Windsor 351 on the ZC, and it was a 4V one, so 290 horsepower, the same as the GT. The ZD had the first of the Clevelands, which was a 2V, had a 2-barrel, so it was different from the GT's engine. Do you need any more stuff for your Sigma? I found a few bits from Dad's old Sigma. I can't think of anything. Tell me what you've got, and I'll, if I need it, I'll buy it from you. 6:35 a.m. in Connecticut. My gosh, you're up early. I'm a zombie at 6:35 in the morning, I'll tell you that. Hey mate, I only just joined the live feed. How's the old XD going? Perfect, I love it. Have since got myself an XF gear. Paint's rough, but not much rust. That'll last you forever. They're the most robust cars. Yeah, though a few 380 timing chains. Yeah, I don't know if the timing chains on the 380 Mercs were double row they replaced them with, but I know the early single ones used to snap. I'm not all that far from you. Whereabouts are you? Croydon or something? Charles Smith's a teacher himself. I'm guessing that is very probably someone that you teach. I'm tipping you might be right. The kids I teach are good, though. They're lovely kids. You know, I can count. I've been at school nearly 20 years, and I can count on one hand how many kids I really couldn't, you know. Lawrence, how are you going? How are you going, D-Tech? My 302 is out of a Series 3 AU and has the GD40 heads. Yeah, wake it up. You can wake it up real easy. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but a guy picked up some cylinder heads for me, and he was talking about it. I can't remember if I ever... I'll mention it in the videos if I can think who he was. Edelbrock 4-barrel airflow throttle bodies have to modify the XM strut braces. We'll be running a Haltech. Yeah, okay, that's going to shift. Connor, hi mate, love your work and videos. Keep up all the reference as I'm building an XC. Quick question. Heard you randomly you were originally from Dubbo? No. I was originally from around here. I was born in Box Hill, and then we moved to Heathmont, or we were living in Heathmont, then Park Orchards, then went back to Heathmont, and then here in Ringwood. Congrats on your pregnancy. Yeah, I know, I've gained a bit of weight, right? What we can't afford, we make. Jonathan W. Jonathan W. is a very, very clever man. What are your thoughts on removing the bell shafts from the 4G engines? There's a modification to do it, and it's a popular modification, so it's obviously not a problematic thing. I left mine in. What's always about me being pregnant? Is it because I'm fat? There's at least 2 wheels and there's an owner's manual and maybe a combo switch. I think I'm right for that stuff. I'll give it some thought. I haven't got a spare combo switch. Where am I now? Hang on, I'm losing it. What is it? Noble Grant. I'm in Gembrook. I know what that is. That's in the Dandenongs. So Gembrook is near Sassafras. We used to go up there quite a lot for morning tea, Susie and I, and the kids when they were small and that sort of stuff. It's a nice spot, Gembrook. Love your work from the Burn, Tasmania. Building a 351 Cleveland for my 82 Bronco soon. Good on you. They're getting hard to get good 351s. I've got a Pearler under the bench, and I'm hanging on to it. It was originally for the XD, and I just cannot take that little 302 out. I just like it too much. Ford Telstar. Greatest government. That would be an AT Telstar, is it? Or an AR? That'd be an AT, I think. Yeah, they're a good car. They're a Mazda 626. There was a lady kicking around Ringwood, an older lady in a turbo 626, and I would love to get my hands on that. Yeah, I was on the news yesterday. Been watching your builds for quite some time. A lot of sensible content. Tassie forever. Good on you, buddy. Yeah, I don't know how I'm pregnant, but apparently I am. Boring question, but given how many cars you have, do you keep the rego insurance on all of them? The club permit and insurance is cheap. So for how many have I got with Shannon's? Most of them are with Shannon's. And I pay $200 a month for the insurance on the XW and all these, the XD and the Sigma and everything is with Shannon's. And the XC is insured with Shannon's. Everything's insured with Shannon's. And the rego is $77 for 45 days a year, and I never go over that. So it's cheaper than just having a normal car. in a lot of ways. Is Vito's XC going to continue? Hell yeah. What do you think of the old ED Ford Plymouth? I used to work at Ford when they were new. Actually, I might have left by the time the ED came out. I think I was there for when the start of the EB came out. Ford's gears, the ones with electronic dash. Yes, that's the XF. Are they any good? As far as I know, they're a lot more reliable than the Calais, the VK Calais dash. VK Calais dashes can be problematic, but they're nice to look at. They're really nice 80s retro. A few trolls here tonight. The lockdown curfew boredom is set in. It doesn't matter. Love all your work. Keep it up. Watch all the XC vids. Can't wait for more. They're coming. Don't worry. I just hate body work. You know what I mean? It just pisses me off, and that's why I'm sort of, I'll do it, and then I go and do a nice, easy job, and just think, got to do the body work. It's the sort of thing. Once I've done it, I drive it. I'll just think, why didn't I do this years ago? Yeah, Fairmont, beautiful cars. Changed from a 6 to a V8 myself. Have an XG has been messed around with too. EFs, when the EF first came out, I was behind one, and I thought that is hands down the nicest looking car I've ever seen. I just thought they were beautiful. In that aquamarine, like that colour that I did the Stallion, you used to see him in that. I used to love him. HQ, for the wife, of course. She wouldn't drive one. She's in a Commodore, and she wants something smaller now. Pleased with how the Bluebird turned out. Yeah, the Bluebird, I've just got to rebuild the front end. And I've got to wash the engine well from underneath it, because my roadworthy guy is strict, but he loves the cars I give him. He always says, don't bring that shit. And then he just sees it and goes, it's the best I've seen. I love that. He did it with the Sigma. He called me up when the roadworthy was done, and I answered the phone. There was a pause. I said, what's wrong? And he goes, that bloody thing has no right to be this good. And I was just stoked. I thought, that's nice. Love the Starlet build, such good little cars. Tragedy they're being crushed. They're not being crushed anymore. They've got airbag stock now. So they crushed a lot of them, mate. I've got to finish this tea. It's going cold. Is that a hair? Oh, man. My hair's too long. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty happy to be pregnant. I might explain the fatness. If I was pregnant, I'd probably be relieved. Although I don't know how I conceived. That would probably trouble me a bit. Watching you for years now. Keep up the good work. I've got NA Fairlane. Was my grandpa's car. Hang on to it. Whatever you do, hang on to it. Even if you get sick of it, you'll regret selling it. All original, right down to the self-leveling suspension, and it works. Who are all these bloody people talking about my pregnancy? Bluey up, all up and running. Bluey's running well. I've just got to. It just needs the front end bushes done for roadworthy. I think I'm done. When am I expecting? What? When am I expecting the parts to come in for the bikes? Or good luck with the baby. Jesus, what is this? What projects would you like to do next? Right. Finishing this little Suzuki because it pissed me off last year. There's the Kentucky Yankee, and there's Andy Newstead, who's Scott's brother from Colwell. Both got really rubbishy bikes, and I got this thing which looked like a walk in the park, and they're riding theirs around, and mine didn't go. And so I thought, I've got to finish that. So it won't take much to finish it. But after that, I reckon I'll bang into the Bluebird's a quickie. That won't take long. That's like 2 videos. And then XC, I've got to finish it. I just have to. Sometimes I think the one of the few body guys who always loved what they do. Yeah, Bodyworks, I'm not very good at it, but it's a patience thing. I mean, Scott I just mentioned him from Cold War. He's incredible. His metal finishing is just, oh. I don't know anyone that can straighten the stainless moldings like that guy. What have we got? XP Taz, how are you? Just noticed yourself to pass 20,000. Well done. Thank you very much. And you're to thank for that. You and everybody else here, because you've been around for a long time. You've always been supportive of me, and I really appreciate it. Where's the CB750 up to? That thing must have doubled in price in the time you've owned it. I spent a fortune on it, and it's still under a tarp in the garage. I've got to buy an exhaust system. I wanted a 4x4, can't do it. They're $2,000. And I wanted 4x4 for the 350, can't do it. They're $2,000. So I've got to get an exhaust for the 750 and a few other bits and pieces. I sort of feel bad about that because Gary gave me a tank and I haven't done anything with it. Best teacher of all time. No further questions. Josh, how are you? Nice to see you. Any word on the Plymouth? No. Got to spend 10 grand on the interior. I've got to put the body mounts in. I'm going to do that this year. I've got to get it started again too. GXL's not finished. No. Will maybe. Thank you. I kind of want an AU Falcon. Is that bad? No. My brother bought an AU XR8. He's been driving that around. Now he's in Mum's old Polo. Good to see you here. Huge alert. Oh, I can't say your name. You know who I mean. I know you've been around for a while. I'm the broker. Whose mustache came first? Booney's, Moon's, or yours? Both of them came before mine. Mine came when I was in 1985. Haven't shaved it off since, I think. I shaved it off once in about 1990, and it looked terrible stuff at the back. Right, let it grow back. When is the baby due? Jesus Christ. And I go to school tomorrow because I always come up and go, oh, did you see me? And like, we're in lockdown, so I've no idea who it is. Come on, show your head. Show your face. What Scott's doing that Fury is amazing. We'll just whistle this together. The guy's just a freak. And the other thing is when you go and you look there, I've been there, we went there last year, it's better than you think when you see it in real life. Like, it's flawless. His work's flawless. Beautiful. I know. Exhaust system prices are nuts. And Honda always made them quite thin, so they always rusted. That's the only good thing about a two-stroke, really. There's so much oil in them that nothing else. My XC was my nan's car. She upgraded to an AU Falcon, and I now have an AU2 when she moved into a home last year. I hope your grandma's all right. It's sad when they move into a home because I know with Mum, she was fiercely independent, and now she's sort of just in a wheelchair. It's so sad. Cheers, mate. No intention to sell as a purchaser from new. Only has 150,000 Ks on it. Yes, indeed. You've got to hang on to it. Toilet Man. Good stuff, mate. Being pregnant. Toilet Man. I wonder who that is. The XW, yes. Still drive the XW, although I haven't driven anything while we've been in stage 4. The XW I finished 5 years ago now. Still use it, though. Thanks for recommending Nick Valera in Tuesday's video. Which one was... I don't know who that is. Love your work. That's why I don't watch telly. I don't watch telly either. I watch Foxtel on Netflix, but I never watch Freddie Wayne. Yeah, he's still building his Mustang in. And I said to him, and he works at the Healy factory, and they've closed down now for 6 weeks or whatever it is. And I said, you've got to finish that thing. It's been sitting around for ages. Have you heard of catalytic converters on some listens breaking apart and getting sucked through the EGR valve and wrecking the engine? No. I don't know about that. What have we got? Got to go. Supposed to be working. Okay, Terry, thank you very much for joining. It's been a pleasure seeing you. I'm doing my GXL too. Tell me about it. What is it? It's obviously a Camel GXL, but is it a 6-cylinder one, a 351? What's all this pregnancy stuff? Thoughts on Yamaha RD250LC? Good luck finding one. They are going to be a fortune, particularly the 350s. Those LC models from, I think, 1982 went like stink and are very, very well sought after now. They're probably one of the more valuable Yamahas, I reckon. People like the XSs and that sort of stuff, but the RDs are massive money. Particularly the LC. The earlier ones, not so much, but the LCs are nuts. Anyway, to tell the difference between the 302 and the 350 without taking the sump off. Take number one plug, or take the spark plug out, put a bit of whippersnipper thread in, or something straight. And if the stroke is 3 inches, it's a 302. If it's 3.5 inches, it's a 351. So you can tell by the castings on the front of the cylinder head, at the bottom of the cylinder head, but some people put 302 heads on 351, so it's still not a reliable way of telling. Did you get the message from my teacher? Yes, I did. Didn't I answer it? You're building something. I can't remember what it is. Yes. Oh, Rambler. Yes. I did get that message and I need to answer it. And I'm terrible at answering messages, but I will answer it. I've been watching your XW build recently and it's given me a lot of motivation to work on my XW. Thank you for the videos. I've been learning a lot from them. Thank you so much, Sam. Dave Raymakers. Is that really Dave? Dave Raymakers is a really good friend of mine. We've got to catch up, Dave, when we're allowed to. Wow, 78 blue GXL. That's a 78. That's probably platinum blue. Blue steel, I think, was only in the first of them, and then the second series XC had platinum blue. Is that right? It's slightly paler. Darren, how you going, buddy? It's good to see you. You shouted out Nick. No, I don't remember shouting that out. I shouted out what's his Alan? Oh gosh, I've just forgotten his name. He's a craftsman in England. I shouted him out. The Katana pop-up rare too, yeah. How's the chicken coop going? The 300. What's the chicken coop? I can't remember it. Nazi Warning, daft question. What is your favourite BMC engine and why? B series. Love them. I love B series engines. I love the noise they make. I love how they run. They're just bone stock reliable. I've got a spare 1620 and a 1500 in the shed. And of course the 18 in the MG. I just love them. They're very torquey. That's what I like about them. They're not a drag car, but they're very torquey. I love B series engines. How many cars do you currently have in total? I think there's 12 or 11 here, but they're not all mine. There's probably 8. Well, hello there, Valium. XA Coupe guy. I sent you an email ages ago on Susie and Peter Anderson at Gmail. Yes, trying to figure out a way to get some XC parts to you. Wow, including eyebrow. I don't remember seeing that. I might have ended up. Yeah, I'll take one of those. I've got no eyebrow molds. Oh, the chicken coop was an RPO 83 XA Falcon Coupe. It is massive money, but it's an RPO 83 and it's an XA. XAs are the last of the GTs with badges on them. I would love one of those. I would love one of those things. RPO 83. I mean, that's just full of phase 4 bits, isn't it? And they expected to get 3 million for the phase 4 and they didn't get it. They got 1.5 million. Don's tricks, he's telling the kids to knock it off. Good on you, buddy. Hey, Peter, when do you plan to get back on the XC? I've been really enjoying it, and yeah, it's come back to life over time. Spring, September, October. I've got to get it done. I've got to get it done. It's annoying me now, and that's what the bike did. I looked at it and it kept annoying me because I knew everyone else was riding this, but I've got to fix it. Hi Ben, how you going? Just wondering how hard it is to get Club Reg. Thinking of, yeah, easy. Well, I'm part of the Wolsey Car Club, and there's a guy in, I don't know where you are, in Power Road in Bayswater that's got a car club, and you join. I think he does bikes as well, I'm not sure. But no, it's not hard. You just have to get a roadworthy. And then you have to join a club too. But some clubs, be careful, because some clubs expect you to do club runs, and you got to do this, you got to do that. And I became very good friends with a lot of guys in my club, but I don't always go to their outings because quite often they're a little bit too far from here. Yeah, XA Coupe guy is a good guy. I only found out about him because he said a nice thing about me. He gave me a shout out. That's why I'm giving you a shout out now, Graham. He mentioned me saying I had good knowledge, and I thought that was lovely. And I subscribed to him straight away. Not because he said that, but because I like what he does. My brother and I are still building another XW Futura with a blown 351 Windsor. Bugger. Stop looking on the outside. Very similar to yours. Lots of inspiration. Thanks, buddy. You might want to... Are you going to tub it? A blown 351 Windsor is going to just fry the tyres. I mean, mine's torquey. Mine's really torquey. And even if I take off to briskly and just like that, it's very sudden. The torque, it's like an FE big block. Feels like the Galaxy when you drive it. What's your email so we can email you about my car? It's Susie and Peter Anderson. Susie, I-E, S-U-Z-I-E, and Peter Anderson, all one word, lowercase, at gmail.com. Working on a Nissan YD225D40 engine. I'm not sure what that is. Is that one of the old diesels? Due to timing chain failure, you've been enjoying it. I'm making sure. Sorry, yeah, thanks, Darren. I'm not sure what it is, though. Have you seen the guy in the US who put a turbo Barra in a GD350? Jesus. Got to go. See you, Adrian. Thanks very much for joining. It's been a pleasure seeing you. I have 17 cars and 7 tractors. Luckily, I have a big backyard and a tolerant wife. I've got the tolerant wife, sort of. She's getting sick of me. I need more room. We want to move, but the problem is with here, it's a really comfortable house. It's a mess at the moment. You can see that. But a really comfortable house, but it's just we've maxed it out, basically. And this is my study, and it's just got crap everywhere. That's normally tidy. There's a drawer, you know. That's the worst look. And the curtains are a mess. And Mum's stuff's over there. It's just. I was ashamed and I actually flicked the camera up at the start of this so no one could see it. I'd like to put the EF on Club Rego maybe next year. I would like an EF. We had an EL and I loved it. And we gave it away for like $800 because it had a few problems. But if I had the room, I'd have kept it. Do you have good knowledge? Oh, thanks very much, Ben. My friend tested positive today. Oh, I hope he's all right. Or she's all right. Seems to this whole COVID thing, it seems to attack people in different ways. Some people just carry it and don't even know they got it, and other people end up in intensive care. It's a real worry. Did you see the video of the mad woman outside Bunnings harassing the police? Yep, she got arrested too. Haha, good work, cops. There's a couple of them. There was another one that the boyfriend was yelling at the cops because they forced her to the ground. And they only show that bit. They don't show what she did before that. She could have been spitting on it for all we know. 4-cylinder diesel. Yeah, I thought it was a diesel, but I just wasn't sure. Jason Hill has gone into hibernation. And he does this every now and then. And last time I spoke to him, he was very stressed. I think he lost some work on account of this whole COVID thing, which surprises me because I would have thought construction was all right. He's an upholsterer that has earth moving equipment. He actually has a bulldozer. And he's a marvelous man. He's a lovely, lovely man. But last time I spoke to him, I don't think he was feeling too well. He's just gone a bit quiet. I've got to give him a call. Can you post email in chat? I don't know. You could write something and I'd be able to look back through it. You make me feel proud, thanks. Can you be my daddy? Okay, this is probably somebody else from school. Don't be ashamed. We love you. Yeah, okay, thanks. You tested positive for being an idiot. Liz Head. Lizard Head. Hi, Mr. Ander. How are you? I'm well, thanks, Lizard Head. I don't know who you are, but I'm just going to say I'm pretty good. What do we got? Thoughts about Mark 1 Transits. Love them. They're the only car. Mark 1 Transits are a classic because the British built them or designed them to carry a bit of 8x4 foot flooring in them, and tradesmen loved them. And they're the most popular car with robberies in England in the 70s. All the robbers used to get them and come out the barn doors at the back, knock over benches and get in them and drive off. And at the time, they were quite quick. I love Mark 1 Transits. I reckon they're cool. G'day, Peter. Putting a 5-litre 4-speed auto into an XD Femon at the moment. Love your vids. Thank you very much, sir. I reckon a 4-speed auto. I'd love to put a 4-speed auto in mine. AD, what are they called? AOD. An AOD, but I need a pre-computer one. I need a mechanical one, and they're really hard to get. The people fighting Bunnings remind me of the people who appear on Judge Judy, yeah, and Jerry Springer. He always had people like that on too. Oh God, we're getting some spam, guys. What are we doing with the spam? Going to be taking out an EJ25 to do head gaskets in a week or so. Know any good machine shops in the eastern suburbs? I use Speedworks in Ringwood. Tony, he's great. He's in Molan Street in Ringwood. When are we getting the next XE video? I keep getting those. Everyone wants to see it. XE video in the month or two. TV star, that would have to do with the 7 News yesterday. It's me, Jason, in your year 9 wood class. What's your surname, Jason? Oh, Justin. Yeah, I was looking at the year 9 stuff today. Justin, I've forgotten your surname. Sorry, Justin. I don't mean to be rude. I will tell Jason that you're all missing him because he's a lovely, he's the kindest bloke. He's so kind. I said to him, would you trim the Plymouth? And you got to let me pay because Jason has a way of doing free work. And some people have taken advantage of him, which is bloody awful. I said, you're not touching it until I pay you. And he does lovely work too. I mean, can you post your email in chat? I'll do it now. Hang on. Susie, with an I-E, because my other one's with a Y and she always tells me off. And Peter Anderson. Oh, I can't even spell my name. Anderson at gmail.com. So you can just Susie and Peter Anderson. Yep, that's it. There you go. That's my email. That's one of them. That's the one I use for this sort of stuff. Alphas, I haven't had an alpha. Dad's got a really rusty one. I heard they rust. But the Top Gear always used to say, you're not a car head until you've had an alpha. And I've never had one, so I don't know. Cargo or not, but custom lines love them. Particularly if it's got a Y block, 292, 272, something like that. I've always wanted to build an MG with an EFI Windsor and 5-speed. Would be a barrel of laughs. People always put the Rover V8s, and I would never do that. I'd always put a Windsor in. Windsors weigh nothing. They're lighter than bloody 6-cylinder engines. The block from the deck of the block to the sub rail is that far, and you can pick them up. They're really, really 302s and 289 Windsors are nuts. Oh, Stahl, I know you. How you going? Your little brother, I taught him last semester. How's he going? Nathan Stahl. Nathan and Justin. Thanks for the recommendation for the machine shop. That's all right. I don't know if he's still there, but he's a great guy. I've got to go back and see him. What's your favourite car of all time? I don't know. What's my favourite car? Whatever it is, it's not an exotic car. I don't know. It depends where I'm going and what I'm doing with it. If it's day-to-day stuff, I love the Starleads, but you know, if it was a fast car or an exotic car, I don't know how to answer that. Hey, hello, Jacob. How are you? I like anything. I love American cars. I love local cars. I like English cars. I like everything. I just fall in love with cars. It doesn't matter what it is. A little boy asked his mother, where do babies come from? The mother says, a stork brings them. The boy says, really, who roots the stork? I've been putting jokes at the end of my videos, and some of them I want to put up, and I can't. You know, the kids or their parents will see it and you just think some of the funniest jokes I've got are that bad and inappropriate. I just can't post them. I mean, I'd lose my bloody job if anyone saw the sort of things that make. I laugh at anything, though. I laugh at things that you're not supposed to laugh at. What do we got? Toyota Prius. I'm not a fan. Yeah, I'm kind of not into the Prius, but I can understand people like him. XY with a Barra engine. Barra engines are just these engines you can get that are fairly stock, and you can just turbocharge the arse out of them and get 1,000 horsepower. They're very, very, very strong. They're the sweetheart of the Ford engines for a long time. And in fact, if you want to go fast, you wouldn't bother with the V8. You just get a Barra. Unless it'd be cheaper to do than a V8 too. But I like the old V8s. Shame about the MGs these days. They're undercover. Oh, SAIC, are they? The styling's improved because it's British. The ZS was designed by the Poms. My car is a 1963 Rambler Ambassador with a 327 V8, but I think they only made 370 of something. So how would I get parts? A Rambler Ambassador. Is there a car club? Is there a Rambler car club? I know the Studebaker boys are quite tight with their parts too, but you join their club and they're very generous. I've heard that, but I don't know much about the Ramblers. I'd be looking for a forum. It could be American forum or Australian forum, and sniff around the forums and you might be able to see something where people quite often sell those parts. They'll come up on eBay every now and then, but it won't be, you'll be waiting 5 years for parts if you just look at one place, Gumtree, eBay, and the forums. XD, yes, the XD is coming back. Do you like 56 Fords? Yes, I do. Custom lines and main lines and all that sort of stuff. According to the owner's manual for an EL, the 302 Windsor V8 car weighs only 40 kilos more than the 6. But I reckon the gearbox is heavier too. The gearbox is a lot heavier. The Windsors are light. It's everything they stick on the Windsor that's heavy. I really like Fiat 500s. Yeah, I kind of dig those too. The modern ones and the old ones. I do like them. They're just full of character. And modern cars don't often have character, but I've heard the modern ones do. I haven't driven one. I'm falling in love with cars as an illness we all have. I do. You know what? Sigma. I mean, they were hated, those things, and I love the thing. Fiat, fix it again tomorrow. My sister had a 3P, a 1283P, and I rebuilt it, put a new cam chain on it, cam belt and everything on it, then it broke and bent all the bloody valves. I was bleeding. At the end of one of your videos, your joke should be this channel. Thanks. Do you figure out the method to add a regulator? Yeah. Well, yes and no. Harvey is Ellesmere Wildwood, and he built the dash in the Sigma, and he's done up the gauges on the MG and the motorcycle. I haven't got those back yet. And he said just use a Bosch one out of a car, but there's different types of regulators for different bikes, and there's a joint, an Australian joint that has them for $50, but he's run out of stock till September, so I'm just going to grab one of those. Those bikes didn't have a reg on them; they only had a rectifier, which is useless. Driving 85 Pajero with a 4G54 at the moment. Can't say it's fast, but good fun with the Weber whacked on. That'll make a second noise too. Pete of the rebuild job, strip down body paint engine. Do you enjoy one aspect more than the other? Yeah, I don't like doing bodywork. I like doing engines and mechanical and wiring. They're the things I kind of like doing because I can just get lost in it. I'll be back in a sec. Going to shoot you an email. Cool. Thanks. I like putting things together. I like it when I've done the bodywork. But the Sigma, I've got to revisit that because it was under a cover that got wet for ages and it's stuffed up a lot of the paint. I've got to redo some of it. Do you like... Oh, you smart ass. There we go. Do that again, and I'll disable you altogether. Well, I've never seen one, even the Chrysler. Hang on a minute. Oh, the Chrysler's on the market. I used to go to Chrysler at the Caribbean, but they're going to knock off the Caribbean market now, which I was bummed about. I stepped away. Have I missed a conversation on Chimeras? I had a Burgundy JD wagon. Everyone used to whinge about Chimeras and they had a bad reputation, but the JE was a good car. I don't know about the JD. I don't know much about them. I haven't done any motorsport, no. Love your videos. I know you're a bit sick of it, but can't wait for more XC. That's all right. I'm not sick of it. It's cool. Recently, Mitsubishi are pulling out of Europe. Yeah, there's going to be a big change. Everyone wants electric now, and it's just too difficult for them. I think Volvo are knocking off all their petrol engines too, and they make good engines. Thoughts on electric fuel injection conversions? I was thinking about can't remember what it was now. There's one you can get that looks like a Holly carburetor, and the ECU's in the back of it, and it uses a normal fuel pump up to like a catch can thing, which has the high pressure fuel pump in it. What is it called? And it's good. It's like $1,000 plus a few other bits and pieces. I can't remember. But yeah, I've thought about it, and now it's quite reliable. I've not heard anything bad about it. I just can't remember the name of it. I was thinking of it for a while. I looked into it too. Do you know if the BMC B series come in front wheel drive in anything in Australia? Yes, the Austin 1800. And you have, yeah. So the Austin 1800, it was a front wheel drive with an 1800 in it, and they have the O head on them, which is better than the MGB head. I've got one on the MG now. It says you wants to see a few cars gone, but still want to buy cars. You could start an Australian version of Greasy Flips. Yeah, but the thing is, I build them and I don't want to sell them. I kind of want to drive them. You know, it's a case of having your cake and eating it too. You can't have everything. I'm going to have a chip. I've got Pringles here. Look, a Pringle. Luke, I've said it 50 times. In maybe October, September, October. Jason Hill is. Yeah, I was talking about Jason before. Yeah, I don't think he's having much fun at the moment. And so we're just going to monitor him and see how he is. What do I think of Rogue? I don't watch it. I've heard about it. I've seen, I think, one. I like the latest one's Alan Milliard. He's this guy, and when I first started watching him, he was sort of very soft-spoken and English guy. Although it's this, and he does he gets bikes like the 6-cylinder Quacker, and he put another 6 cylinders on it, made a V12, and it looks factory. And he got a Z900 and made it into a V8 or something. And he's got 6-cylinder ones as well that all look factory and museum quality. He's just a freak. And I watch him and I just think to myself, I can't do that. And he does it with hand tools. I mean, he's got a mill and he's got a lathe and he's got a TIG weld and all this sort of stuff. But when he cuts the cases, he just does it with a hacksaw and he has a rasp and all this sort of stuff. And I just think, what? And he does it. And you watch his videos and it makes sense how he does it. He's an incredible guy. Does the Suzuki just run a 3-phase stator? It is a 3-phase stator, I think. If so, could you possibly use a MOSFET reg? Yeah, you probably could. Yeah, because I don't want to put a regulator rectifier in, but I'm just not sure how to do it. Do you see Scott's last video? One of the agents with the Cummins diesel, that'd be Justin, and one of the others bought a shed with a Japanese diesel. I don't know who that was. I haven't seen it. Firetech's the one I'm thinking of. Thank you very much. B, that's a Firetech. That's the one I was looking at. So, Scott, how are you? Do you like... Oh, God, this kid's just... If you troll me once more, I'll remove you. Right? Knock it off. The soup is frustrating. He's a craftsman, that guy, and all his welding, he just takes a photo, does a bit, takes a photo, does a bit, and it all just comes together in this animated thing. I don't know how he does it. And I kind of, when I'm watching him, I look at him and I just think that would just drive me bananas. I don't know how he does it. Okay, everyone in year 8 at my school was talking about what they will do for the graduation prank. And I said, I will do a burnout up the road in one of my cars. I did that at Yarra Valley, down toward the bottom gate in the XD when I was 18. Lit up the back tyre over a speed hump, smoke everywhere, let go of the brake, went to drive out and the gate was shut. So I had to reverse, and there was a guy called Harry Moyle, and he had his arms crossed staring at me, and I reversed sheepishly, went out the window, and he said, give me one reason why I shouldn't call the police. I said, because I don't want you to, and he let me go. That was a long time ago. That was 1984 when I just finished school. Alan Millard's an absolute legend. He's just, I look at him and it's like, he's just nuts. He's so impressive. Bioscript Garage is new records. Another guy doing old Fords. I've been seeing a bit of his stuff. Iron, don't know. He had a GT replica and he sold it. He went and bought an XA Ute and all that. I can't remember what his name is. And he likes playing with the old Fords. I think he's a Pom, I'm not sure. Every now and then he sounds English. Just scored a 280 XF S-Pack manual. Wow. Pete C. Cortina City. That guy, he's another one. He's just a nutcase, that guy. He's funny. He's a good guy. A really nice guy. If I ever go to England, I'd like to catch up with him. If I ever get back to England. I've been a few times now, but not in a long time. Purchase, I used to work at Whitehorse Motors. Do you know Peter Smith? Yes, I know Pete Smith. He's a great guy. Pete Smith briefly showed up at my work, teaching in the auto place. He's a wonderful guy. I didn't know him back then, but I've sort of got quite friendly with him. Last time I heard, I think he was interstate, doing something interstate. I think he's back now. Pete C. He's great. Yeah, we're doing all right in lockdown. Thank you very much. Physics Airline. I'm always surprised how many Starlies I see on the roads in Sydney. That's because they don't die. They're not very safe. You probably shouldn't drive them around. But I kind of enjoy mine. I'm going to be doing some panel work to make her pick some stuff up from Milsom's today. Ah, how are they? Say hello to them for me. I haven't been there for a little while. I couldn't open and watch the clips on the Patrons channel. Kept telling me he wanted to sign up and I didn't look. I don't know. You should be able to see it. Iron Empire. That's the guy. Yeah. He's from Adelaide somewhere. He's a South Aussie, is he? I thought he had an accent. Have you seen the channel Guy's World? No. Can you think of any reason a water pump would be bent apart from a car being in a crash? Water pumps are normally cast, aluminium or metal. Is it the hub that's bent? Unless it's flogged out that bad. I doubt it. No, it must have been a smash, I would have thought. I don't know. Any other Aussie channels you can recommend? Don Strix. He's Donny Ute, and he's got a sedan. He's got a few cars down there. Don Strix is one, an XA coupe guy. Coupe guy. Watch those two. If you want another channel to look at, look up Soup Classic. Yeah, I'm actually subscribed to Soup. Yeah, I know. I haven't done anything with the merchandise. I'm so sorry. Pete's merch should just be a picture of a cup of tea. Yeah. They seem quite busy. Founders. Who's that, I wonder? Oh, do they have a different accent from us? I'm originally from Adelaide. We apparently sound a bit posh. Yeah, he's kind of he's got a different accent. I didn't think there was much of this. I know the Queenslanders sometimes sound a bit different, but South Aussies aren't convicts. Well, all my family are from England, so that doesn't bother. You can call me a convict if you want, okay? Good evening, Peter. If you happen to be owned the XA chicken coupon with your restorer to leave it original, I'd leave it original. Stop talking while you're eating. I kind of like doing it. No, the guy that said he was going to call the police was Harry Moyle. He was a teacher there. And if I knew what I knew now, I would have just told him to get stuffed, but I didn't. He was actually all right. There was a few teachers there I didn't like. Oh, yeah, Aussie Channel Skid Factory. That's another one that's quite popular. Nugget Garage and Haul Ass Garage. I don't know about that one. So what else have I got coming up? All right, a guy left an old motorbike on the front lawn, but it's an old Chinese one off eBay. And I need parts, and if I don't get parts, I might be forced to it's in bits and it's seized, and there's a rusty piston hanging out. It's just a joke. There's a bloke restoring a Monaro. I can't remember his channel. Pistol 85. Here's another one. He's putting a diesel in it, though. Nothing wrong with that, I guess. It's good to be different. Yeah, that's Pistol 85. Good guy. Is there a rough point in time where car bodies and panels started getting galvanized? Yeah, early 90s. Was it early 90s? Might have been late 80s. The XFs were, I don't know that. Yeah, Marty Carmine's is they were great originally when they were working out of Marty's mum's garage. I used to love it. But then they became quite big and they got all these turbo Yodas and all these other people in and forums, and you get on the forum and there's people bickering about something, and I just went, okay, it's time for me to leave. Hey Pete, funny came up. I was watching your videos on building the Clevo for the XM, about to start my XD. Cheers for all the info. Thank you very much. You watch King Toe Crew? Also, Hub Nut is live. Oh, is Hub Nut on, is he? Yeah, no, I'm talking while I'm eating. I'll stop. Most mid-80s on the cars had a government coating. Did they? I'm just trying to think. Maybe Japanese cars. I don't think ours were. I'm not sure. Mad Kiwi, just sub. Thank you very much. Jeffrey Cracker's channel is great. He's a Kiwi with a superb sense of humour. Awesome. Rosie's not here. Well, she's in the other room. She's watching telly with the other two. And as if my kids are ever going to leave home, right? Just want to say thank you to all your awesome vids. Your knowledge, skill, and your can-do approach is fantastic. I've got to get a haircut. Look at my fringe. It's down below my bloody chin. Hope things improve with your mum. Yeah, I'm very fond of my mother. Do you like diesel engines? Yes, I do. Not a fan in general, but some can be okay. I was watching a guy rolling coal on cyclists yesterday. Not very nice. American guy. and they richen them up and hit a bit of boost, and all this black stuff comes out and goes everywhere. But diesels now are a lot better than what they were. I don't know much about them though. I don't like working on them. I've actually put some bids on my XM. Good. Let's see it. But having motivation to work on the car and the film is next level. I get pinged all the time for bad audio, and I haven't done anything about it. And I never script anything. And I take a camera. Where is my camera? My camera's here. I'll probably show you this. It's just a phone without a SIM card in it. My normal mobile's black. My YouTube phone is white. And that's all I use. 1080p all day long. And it's got a 8 gig or something SD in it. I don't know. And I just take it out, turn it on, and just babble. And sometimes when I might be talking about a craft, I refer to it as a camshaft. I'm not really thinking. And I should probably put more effort in. And I think I'd have a better channel if I put more effort in. But I just don't have time. I'm a full-time school teacher, a full-time dad. I've been looking after mum pretty much full-time since May 2016. Now she's in care. And I get up on the weekends at about 8 o'clock. Through the week, I get up at 7 o'clock and go to bed at about 1:30 in the morning. And I don't sit still. I actually like it like that. There was a midnight spares and running on empty. Yeah, there was another one too. I can't remember where it was a GT and a Chase. You were saying earlier that you dropped a skid in the XD at school at Ringwood in 14 muck-up day. It wasn't at muck-up day. It was after school had finished. I dropped a skid on Hill Street in my EL gear. It was the same colour as your old EL. Mr. Porter seen it. Ports went off to a place in Sydney, I think. Home built by Jeff is good too. I haven't tried it. God, I'm missing out on everything. Oh, make your dad some tea. Rosie's not even in. The tea's freaking cold. I'm just going to drink it though. Home built by Jeff is doing a Ferrari engine, bloody hell, into an Alpha. Some of those exotic car engines do. I know the Citroen SM has a Maserati engine. Yeah, I'm not good at working on diesel. Some people are just into it. Matt Bender, who worked in Nissan with me, and he turns up every now and then on this, was a great. He was an apprentice mechanic when I was just finishing up, and he used to love heavy mechanical, and he was bloody good at it too. I used your Mitsubishi Gentile Silver on my XW fuel time, and it looks great. The good thing about the Mitsubishi Gentile Silver is it looks like a perfect. It's almost got a bluish hue to it. It's a perfect silver. It's not Ralcan bright silver or replica alloy stuff. I don't like silver, but I do like that colour. Fitz's Fabrications is good for learning bodywork. He was doing a Fox. I don't get this. You might be able to, you might know because I just scanned through the video. All right. Fitz's Fabrications was Frenching a fuel door on a Fox body Mustang, but he cut a patch out, and I think he welded it over the top of the other fuel door, which means it would have been really high. I didn't get that. You might, I could be wrong, but I think that's how he did it. I like the way you do your videos. I like to see things just happen. Thank you, Liam. It sort of quantifies the fact that I don't do very well. Galvanizing mid-80s Porsche started in the early 80s. Audi was around 85. Japan was pretty soon after. I think here in Oz, and I might be wrong, I think Ford started with the EA, Holden with the VN. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't play with diesels here. I respect them, but I'm not into them really. Never owned a motorcycle yet. Still watch the channel. Thanks. I need, because I do motorcycle video or a Starley video and everyone splits. I do an XC video, 10,000 views. I did. Peter Warrett had his own personal issues. Peter Warrett was a brilliant, brilliant motoring journalist, well ahead of his time, and a fine reviewer. Very blunt, no BS, really great to watch. I really respected Peter Warrett. I used to watch Talk as a little kid when my brother was a car head. I wasn't, but he was very good. Had any issues with flat tapper cams? They can scallop out. Holden 308 red engines were very bad for doing that, and the EFI 6s and the Falcons. For some reason, I didn't do any cams and lifters in XF, normal carby ones, but for some reason the EFIs all did. Not all of them, but a lot of them did. Yeah, they can flat tapper cams. If the tapper doesn't rotate, it'll just wear away in one spot, and then it mushrooms and it's hard to get out. So you've got to replace the cam as well. The quality is fine where it is. I like them where they are, mate. Thank you very much. Do you look different to how you looked on TV? That's because I need a haircut. My hair's awful. I looked at myself and just thought, oh shit, this is awful. But I was just wearing my school kit there, with woolen jumper and a collar, and I had a what do you call it? A polo shirt on. Do you have to clear coat acrylic metallic? Yeah, anything metallic you clear coat. Silver's a bastard colour to match to old paint to lay properly when spraying. It is. It is. And reds never match either, and yellows are shocking. You can see through them as well. Have you been watching the Carnage Street Machine videos? I watch the drag ones sometimes. How do you find paint codes for old and rare cars? Ring up Nilsson's Infantry Gully. They know. He knows everything. Terry is an encyclopedia. Don't change how you make your vids. It's part of the charm of your channel. Thank you very much. I need more subscribers though. See you later, Darren. Take care, buddy. 280 videos, yeah, baby. I was going to do a turbo one on the Sigma, but it just runs so sweet I haven't got around to it. Will you fix a Valiant? Yeah, I'll do it. I had a girlfriend once that had a two-door hardtop one, a VH. There's talk shows on YouTube, good reviews, and he told the truth. Look at Peter Werritt does a review on the HJ Holden, and I like HJ Holdens, but he had nothing good to say about it, particularly the power steering. Watch that one. He had no holds barred. No one bought him off. Okay, yeah, the rusty door bottoms on Fitzy's big fabrications. EFI XFs were really bad for vacuum leaks. So were some of the ones, the XE with the vacuum amplifier near the carburetor. They were just a bastard of a thing, and we used to take them off. We used to take them off and right shoulder them. The vacuum amplifier was a round black thing with all these rigid hoses going to it. Hang on, where am I up to? Yeah, I got that one. Trav's blog channel is good for bodywork and real craftsmen. Do you know who I love watching? Not car related. Pask Mates. Got to watch him. English guy working out in the country somewhere here, and his woodworking is just nuts. Watch Pask Mates. I love Pask Mates. Do you watch Full Boost? Yeah. I quite often get on Full Boost and have a look. Pull the dipstick out of an XF Evo and it starts running rough. That's right. That's a closed system. See, Elliot, take care, mate. Thank you very much for joining. It's been a pleasure seeing you here. Keith, your news. Thank you so much. I think I owe you an email. Keith Pawson, you became a recent subscriber, and I'm very appreciative. Thank you very much. Enjoy any of the videos. I prefer unpolished presentation format. Thank you. That's why I watch Hubnut. Big Clive, I love it. Hubnut I watch from time to time. I get a little bit frustrated when he fixes things, but Big Clive, he's great. It's just the way he talks or the way he presents. And he'll say, this might give me a shock. I mean, I'll be going, no, I'm not touching that. But he doesn't care. He's great. You want to watch something? Oh, what is it called? Big Clive was talking about this guy, and the guy is nuts, right? He's got 5,000 amps going through a screwdriver on his lounge room carpet. He is bonkers, and he just blows things up with electricity. What is his name? And he's potty, like he has mental illness, and he's gone for a little while, but he will come back. What is his name? If anyone knows his name, chime in. He's just bonkers, but God, he's amusing to watch. Gunther, hi Pete, great to see you back on the Suzuki. Your oil pump looks to be working fine. Yeah, it is. Now I'm almost ready to put the engine back in. I put it back together today. John Cadogan, I got annoyed with. He just seems to be rude for the sake of it. He did do a really good thing where he graphed bullshit as a mathematical thing, and it was really, really good. You know, he talks about a level of bullshit from, car salesmen to lawyers to, this sort of thing. Job interviews, really funny. He's good with that, but he just gets rude to people and just bags things for the sake of it. And he's just pure Kia and Hyundai. That's all he cares about. And I've worked on a lot of Kia and Hyundai stuff in the 90s, and I tell you what, they were bad. Do you want some Sigma parts? I'll take some parts if you got them. How does xweer windscreen seal get fitted? How many clips are adhesive? I'm about to do mine. No, it just fits over the lip. Yeah, it just pulls out over the lip, and well, the guy that did mine used a sealer on it. I didn't do mine. I know how to put them in, but yeah. No, yes, the radial tube suspension wasn't on the HJ, it was the HZ. Yes, that was the first one. If you can't buy a Chev, Dodge, a Ford, love your show, keep up the great work. If you can't buy a Chev, Dodge, or I think that's what you mean. Thank you very much, Ben. On the roads, Peter Werrett would fit into the wear. He would. And when he came out, Peter Werrett had a hell of a childhood. He had a brother, and the father used to beat up the brother. Well, he used to beat up both kids. The brother was gay, I think, and Peter Werrett had a cross-dressing thing, and he became a woman later on, and then he died. And he was I think he was married a couple of times too. He had a hell of a story, and he had a nasty time. Country Queensland, is that where he is? Yeah, Pask Makes is brilliant. Watch Pask Makes. Pask. His name's Paskin. I think it's Neil Paskin, but it's Pask Makes. Having my fucking arms up. No, yes, what a car doesn't steer and drive better was radials over cross blinds. Big Clive is a genius. Watch Alan Milliard. You want to see a genius? A mechanical one, Alan Milliard. Photo induction. Thank you. Mr. Gab 250. Photo induction. Watch it. Right? Watch it, right? You're going to love that guy. He's mad. He's just nuts. And yeah, you got to watch it. I love the guy. He's just mental. Photo induction, yeah. Good day, Mr. Anderson. Edward Dillian. How are you going? Is it Jose? Colin Firth. Yeah. AVE, keep your dick in a vice. Yeah. AVE is great. How he gets away without being demonetized, I'll never understand. I'll never swear on a video, although I did recently, I think. I hurt myself or something happened on a video, although I did recently, I think. I hurt myself or something happened. But yeah, I'm very careful. I mean, if this one got demonetized, I couldn't care less. But, you know, I've got to watch it. There are kids here, I guess. Pull the cap off my XF EFI and the idle does not change. If it was an XE, it would. Did they change it on XE? I think it's just still... Wow! AU Scrubbers, 20 bucks. Thank you very much. My shout for a haircut after ISO. Thank you very much. Woohoo! Yes, my hair is too long. Oh, hang on. Where am I up to? Yeah, I don't know much about it. Okay, so Mr. Gabs chimed in with problem with the idle F, the IACV, yeah. That could be it too. Ever had a car with a starter? Oh, no. We call them misfires, backfires. There are 173 Holden 6 with 2 cylinders locked up, and the 173 was a bloody good engine, but the starfire is not. When are you going to get back on the XC? Greg, I've said it 50 times. It's going to be in September or October. The 10th anniversary of Peter Werrett's passing was earlier this year. Was it 10 years ago? So when he died in 2010, I thought it was earlier than that. The video quality is fine with the phone. Content is great. Love the cars and the bike stuff. Thanks, Trevor. Aaron, Musty One. I got sick of Musty One. I actually was quite into it when a few years ago. I just got sick of seeing carby rebuilds and checking for spark. But also, he never answered any of my comments. I used to leave him comments too, and he never answered. I thought you could just be trying to be polite, you know. I always feel bad if someone says, I left a comment and I didn't get to it. That poor kid before with the Ramblers, he actually got his teacher to contact me. I said, yeah, that's all good. And I never answered it. Photo induction hasn't made any videos for a while. He had a few significant problems. He had a lot of significant problems. How he didn't blow his house up. I don't know. Oh. You watch him and it's scary. I never get scared. I mean, you can show me a horror film where everyone's getting murdered. I don't care. But photo induction I watched and I got scared. I thought, man, what are you doing? He's not a well man, though, I don't think. Aussie 50 used to have an awesome channel until he passed away. That was awful, wasn't it? Aussie 50, yeah, that was terrible. Logan Blokes, when I'm 18, I'm going to take my teacher's parking spot because his car is bad. Any thoughts? No, it's happened at school. Some kids moved a teacher's car and put it sideways between two other cars. I thought it was actually quite funny, but he actually spit chips. He was very upset. For a laugh, check out Electro Boom. I haven't heard of Electro Boom. See you later, buddy. Thanks very much for your well wishes with the family, and take care. And thanks so much for your ongoing support too. I truly do appreciate that. How long have I been going for? Bugger, I've been going for an hour and a quarter. Must be time for more. It's going to be awful. Yeah. I need a new one. Fairlane, Jason's Fairlane, I don't think anything's up with that. He's just sort of got it sitting there. Would you ever consider restoring a late 90s Commodores down the track? Yeah, I like Commodores. I'd like to do an early one though. Musty's okay, but there's a limit to how long I can pay attention to air-cooled VW engines. Yeah, he did go into that, didn't he? He loves his buses and all that sort of stuff. I got really sick of it. Yeah, I just didn't find it too. He's doing well. That guy's got like, I think he's got 500,000 subscribers. He's self-employed now. He's doing very well. This is good. Like I've got 20,000, which is chicken feed next to that guy, but it gives me enough pocket money to pay for all the parts and do that sort of stuff. So I'm on a nice little weekend. I just got to pay tax on it. I just got sick of it because I didn't think there was much skill in checking for spark and cleaning cubbies. That being said, he seems to have a very good success rate of getting things going. Whether he publishes everything he does, or if something doesn't work, he doesn't publish it. Don't know. Okay, so photo induction is the new Electro Boom. I'm going to try that Electro Boom. I'm going to write it down because I'm going to forget. I'll write on my little running sheet here. Electro Boom. Yes, I'm going to watch that. It's 4:38 a.m. in California. What time is it there in Australia right now, Pete? It is 9:40 or 9:38 p.m. on the 13th of August. You just woke up. Hello, Jonathan. How are you? I haven't paid you any visits lately to your channel, but I will. I'm always impressed with what you do. Jonathan W is here. If anyone wants to ask him any questions, he's just chimed in. Very, very clever. How'd you go with that bike? You were building your own bike and you built the engine for it too. I just haven't had time really. Cold War Warriors do lovely work. They do. They muck around. Do you watch Haul Ass Garage? No, I can show that. Dave, what are you doing? $50? Thank you very much. Oh, that'll pay for some parts. Thank you so much. How do you pull the engine out of a van, like a Hi-Ace or something? Does it come out from the bottom? We used to at Toyota. You just stick it on a lift and you pull it out. You can get them out inside, but you got to have a very short chain on your thing, but it's better going from underneath. Cheers for all you do, mate. Thank you very much, Dave. I'll tell you a joke. I hope it's clean. Have you checked out Iron Trap Garage? No, but I'm going to write that down too because I want to see it. Iron Trap Garage. The channels that I like, Jonathan W is one of them, is the channels that have a lot of variation. They don't just do the same thing. And he's always got something different going on. That's why I like Scott at Cold War. But when they're doing the same thing, you do get sick of it after a while. Have you checked out Iron Trap? Yeah, I got that one. Cold War is great, hilarious too. They're funny. And the thing is, when you meet them, they're not how you think they are. They're not. They're all upstanding guys. I mean, Jim's an engineer, a maths head. He's the one that's got the Lincolns and all those cars, and he looks like a larrikin, but he's not. And they're all educated guys. You wouldn't think so when you watch it because they just muck around and make dope jokes, but they're really, they're clever guys, you know. Jonathan W is an amazing channel. He builds old cars, first starts adapts T5 gearboxes. You can do that, and you might know, Jonathan, if you see this or if you hear this. T5s, there's only one mod you have to do to stick them on a Y block. Have you done one of those? I had a Y block 292 and I wanted to put a T5 on it. Straight out, for example, building about 5 different cars at the same time. Yeah, that's a clever guy. And they don't get credit enough. I can't stand when I see a channel with 4 million friggin' subscribers and the guys that do a bit, not very clever. Thank you, Ben Aarons. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Hang on. I'm reading a joke. Someone just uploaded a joke. Iron Trap does 32 forwards and hot rods. Cold War is rustic and very entertaining. Cold War's great. Probably my favourite guys. Hang on. So there are these two flies, and when they saw an old outside toilet, one went and asked the other fly, "Do you want this?" And the other said, "No, I'll get on the pistol." Well, that's all right. Vice Grip Garage is worth a look. Yes. Jeffrey Croker and his Land Rovers. Any other suggestions? Bill Pitts. I didn't like seeing who's the guy that did a steering wheel resto and he just did it with his needed stuff. And he's got Chris Fix, I think it was, and I got a bit annoyed with that. I thought, that's not how you do it. See you later, Ben. Thank you very much for coming. And thanks very much for your donation. That's so well appreciated. Yeah, Chris Fix, I wasn't impressed with that. But he's a very successful guy too. That's good. They're doing well. People are doing well out of it, and it's really important. DeBoss Garage. Where's my pen? I'm going to give these a go. I've had a bit of time lately. So I want to do or finish off the Suzuki soon. Yes, you are talented, Jonathan. Jay Leno. Ian Wilson, thanks very much. £5 for more tea. Thank you. And £5 will cover it. £5 will get me 2 of them because at the Yorkshire Gold stuff, I just had to look at it then. The Yorkshire Gold stuff is $6.50 here. So what's that? $13. £5 will cover that. Oh my God, thanks. People are being so kind. I'm really humbled. Thank you so much. Old Brownie. Thank you. Gee whiz, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. I don't know what happened to Eric Nicargo either. I used to see a bit of his stuff. He's a clever guy. Please finish the Honda 750. Well, the rate people are donating money, I will. I've got to buy a seat because the seat pan is absolutely shagged. It's fucked. It's had it. And the tray underneath is, I know, XP, I'm doing well. I'm going to come back tomorrow. Yeah, Doc, okay, I'll tell you something about the CVs. Doc Jones is waiting for a second. The 750 was the worst thing to buy. It's a K8, which is a pain in the ass. Anything K0 to K6, you're going well. K7s and 8s are a pain in the ass to get parts for. Carburetors are different. The tank, thankfully, Gary from Cold War gave me a tank. The tank I had 4 feet of rust in it. And it just wasn't the right bike. I should never have bought that bike. Everything was stuffed on it. Whoever, and I'll probably keep it, but I will keep it. I couldn't sell it, haven't been given that tank, but whoever eventually ends up with it is going to have a new bike from this date. Do you know what I mean? Like everything's been replaced. There's just nothing that was any good. I mean, the gearbox was good, the engine cases were good, but nothing else was. Everything was stuffed. I had to replace it all, and it only had 18,000 miles on it. The CB350, I'm just waiting for the guy. There's a Reball guy. I don't know much about. Normally, I would go through Speedworks, but they do cars, and they're not as tooled up with the bikes as a specialist would be. So the CB354 needs to be bought. I got the pistons. A wonderful guy from Patreon, Phil Rule, donated a piston kit, mill oversized with a gasket set. And once I've got that, I can put that back together, save for a valve, I think, and then that bike will ride. I need to change sprockets, stuff like that, but incidental, like cheap stuff. That bike's pretty much finished. And the 750 needs some money. But and another one, I got a cheap CB350 motor 4-cylinder one out of a go-kart. It looks shagged. And I got a frame, swing arm, forks, that sort of stuff. And I wanted to build one, my own version, like not a cafe because they're so overdone, but involved. I would have had my own spin on it. Do you know what I mean? Like my own idea with the guards. There's a guy that I used to watch a bit of, and what's his name? Taylor. Hello, my name is Taylor. He's from Austin in Texas. What is his name? Classic Octane. And then I saw him smashing the crap out of a low mileage 1 owner or whatever it was, barn find. I thought that. So And he does a similar thing with all his bikes. And I don't like how a lot of people do them, so I thought I'd do my own custom using this 350 because I've got very few parts. And I thought, you know what, I'll do that. Can you live tomorrow night? I don't know. Depends on what I'm doing. Are you going to have a chat on YouTube on a regular basis? Enjoy listening to your chat sessions in the man cave? I should. Speaking of man caves, has anyone seen Biker Bits? There's a guy from Bendigo. I reckon tyres and can make a car, yeah. Tyres make all the difference, don't they? Speaking of bike seats, any recommendation on foams used or what? CBX 750 that needs a seat recovered and foam added. I don't know. The CBX 750 is not a bike they make a lot of aftermarket for, I don't think. The early CBs you can get seat foams. I'm going to buy a whole seat. It's like $300, and it's through, I don't know where it's from, but it's a K7, K8 seat. It's a huge seat, and I can't do anything with mine. It's just stuffed. It's absolutely rooted. So I'm going to throw that in the toilet, buy a brand new seat for it, put it on. It's just more money, but what do you do? How many miles are on the XW since I finished it? 700. Yep. All right. Whenever I've got time and I'm not doing dad stuff or school stuff, I like to tinker. I haven't driven it much. I haven't driven it nearly enough. Thanks, Pete. First time I've been involved in one of your live chats. It's a pleasure, Dean. It's lovely to see you. And you're right, tyres are hard to get for odd size wheels, or 14-inch wheels, which are on all your old Fords. In here, the Americans quite often use 15s on theirs. We had 14s, and the choice is limited. You're stuck with like friggin' Nankings or whatever. When you fix a vintage car, they'll fix anything. Some guy dropped off an eBay motorbike, like one of those friggin' rusty thumpster things. I wouldn't even piss on one of those things. I hate them, but you know what? I can't get out to get parts. I can't do anything. I might as well just do something with it. I don't know. I don't really want to, but I'll fix anything. I have a Hyundai GX390 stationary engine. Would you mind trying to build a go-kart around it? I don't think I'll have time. Classic Octane, yeah. I didn't mind Classic Octane, but again, it's like I try to do car videos, motorbike videos. I've been doing these bloody school project videos. They bomb. No one likes watching those. But I like to do different stuff all the time. And that's why the XC's taken so long. I just wanted to do something a bit different. XD's going well, thank you very much. I haven't driven it. I can't get out of the friggin' house. It's like being on house arrest. Voltage regulator was a fitment on the GT250 for certain countries. The bullet connector wire was still fitted to the harness. Even in non-fitment countries, as here in the UK, yours may be earlier. Mine's a T250. So T250s were 1969 to 1973. I think mine's, what's mine? Mine's like 71. I don't even know what it is. Biker Bits, love Biker Bits. G'day guys, how you going? Yeah, a guy from Bendigo, his name's Mark. And Nay, his wife, works in the wood shop all the time. G'day. There he goes, nuts. Nuts. What are your thoughts on 83 Falcon S-Pack? Get it? Because all the square Fords are getting expensive now. Good morning, just woke up. Hello, Bruce. How you going? Good to see you. Convo Pro Life. Don't know that one. Do you want to do an interview live on my channel? Yeah, if I've got time, I'll do it. Any progress on the Chrysler? No, Bruce. I need to lift the body. I've got to take the front clip off. I've got to lift the body, change the mounts, because a guy restored it for himself. And he was a panel beater or a spray paint or something. I think it was a panel beater. And his work's brilliant. The guy's done great work on it. It's a pity he painted it red. I mean, the Christie thing's just bullshit. I'm over it. Do you know what I mean? It was a beautiful green before that. He should have left it green. So I got to do the body mount. And anyway, yeah, he ran out of money. So then he to sell it, he just banged it together and he did all the shut lines and everything on these old mounts. And I don't reckon they're roadworthy. They're all sort of perished. So I bought a bunch of new mounts for it and thought, you know what? I'd like to get that done, but the interior is something I can't do. And you pay 10 grand for an interior. I mean, the bumpers need chroming and they're about the size of this house. It's like, you know, I've just got to get some money together to do it. And that's why I wanted to get Jason to do it, because I can sort of give him $2 grand and then I can give him $1 grand and I can give him another $2 grand. I can sort of do it as I can. But on that board, I've been fixing lawnmowers and chainsaws and stuff, and that's good. One of our old assistant principals used to take his son around and get lawnmowers and fix them up. Great guy. Chris Salisbury was his name. He was a wonderful man. Wheels Through Time is a new channel I've come across recently. American fellow who owns a museum with a stack of vintage American bikes. They've been putting out videos. What's it called? Wheels Through Time. Who I saw that I didn't get? Junkyard Mook. It's a girl with her boyfriend. He's just Junkyard Bits, I think, and they get massive views. And they just dig around with old trucks. I didn't kind of get that, but someone might be able to. I didn't maybe, you know, give it enough of a shot watching it, but yeah. Any plans for another Starlet? I've got everything here. I've got power steering and air conditioning and all the power pack bits. I could do another one, but I don't know where to put it. If one dropped in my lap, I'd probably do it, but I don't know what I'd have to sell it because I wouldn't be able to keep it. I really love the videos you do for school. As a future teacher, I love seeing different teaching methods. Thank you very much. I've got those things here. G'day, Pete. What cars do you see yourself building in the future? Could I do a Holden or a GM car? I've got to do a GM car. I really want to do one. I really want to do a General Motors car or a Japanese one. How are you doing in lockdown? Yeah, pretty good. The others aren't going so well. Susie lost her job, and the kids lost their jobs, or they got very, very few shifts and that sort of thing. I've been kind of liking it. Who do you take automatic transmission stuff to? I normally do it myself. I haven't done one for a while though. Have you had a look at the Master? Hang on, the thing's moving. Where's it going? Master Miller 82 channel. They're restoring an old Iraq tank. It's worth a look. Master Miller 82. Have a look at that too. I don't know if I'm into an Iraqi tank, but it's certainly worth a look. What does a rusty CB750 go out there in Australia for $3 grand? I picked up a 73 CB for $600 in Orange County. Yeah, right. You're American. You're lucky. I'd love to be American. $600. $600 will buy you a knackered Chinese bike here. It won't get you anything from the name brands unless it's absolutely shagged. It has to be knackered before you can get it for $600. I really lucked out with my Suzuki 250. That was $800, and that had all the paint done, had all the powder coating done, everything. I've still dropped another grand on it. So all up on the road, it'll be about $2 grand, but that bike's $6 grand here. CB750, a good restored CB750, they start at $8 grand. There was a Sandcast advertised for $65,000. I kid you not. I don't know if it sold for that. And it wasn't even the very early one. It wasn't. There's a difference. There's the Sandcast of the first year or something that they made them. And they've got a rough casting. They're not smooth like mine. And they're all K0 bikes, I think. But yeah, 65 grand. A guy had one advertised for, and it wasn't even one of the first ones. It was in that model range, but it wasn't one of the first ones. 65 grand. Approximately 1.5, 2 years ago. Yeah, $600. You'll never. $600 will buy you on a CB750. Well, the petrol tank, the fuel tank or the gas tank Gary sent me would be $600. Probably even more because they're rare here. Also, why wouldn't you tell your students about your channel? They would probably just troll you. I think they've been trolling me. Brilliant job on the wiring on the Chrysler top notch. Yes, I think it turned out all right. I'm pretty happy with that. Matthew, I've not seen you before. I'm 16 years old and currently restoring an XES pack for my dad. Oh, wow. Do you know any places where I could buy new parts that may need replacing? Let me know what the parts are and I'll give you a hand. Just email me on that, Susie and Peter Anderson, and it depends what the parts are. Most of the consumables on those are still available through Burson's. Burson's, actually, you know what? Go through NRAP on eBay, North Ringwood Auto Parts. The guy's name is Rob Mills. and he's really reasonable. That's all your suspension parts and stuff like that. Panels might be a bit different. I haven't got any XE panels. I think I've got an XE steering wheel, which I'll just give you, but I don't know what it's like. It's been hanging on my garage wall forever. But if you need help, Susie and Peter Anderson at gmail.com. I'll write it down again, because I'd like to help you. What is it? Hang on. Oh, shit. I've lost it. Hang on. Say something. I'll just put it in the bottom here. Susie. I love that you're doing it. I would do anything to have a chance to work on something with my dad again. And he died when I was 19 or 18 or something. 19. Okay. There we go. They just didn't have G in cornfields. I missed what that was about. Junkyard Digs, yeah. Some videos are excellent, others just definitely not. That's who I'm talking about, Junkyard Digs. And there's Junkyard Mook, and she's quite sweet. And she helps him. And I wish my wife did that. I'd love my wife or any of my daughters to help me, and they just don't want to. And it's like, shit, why not? I need it. Banks Power is another channel. The main bloke is an oddball. What about the electronics? What we were just talking about. But a lot of really good technical stuff about diesels. Yeah, I don't know much about them. I actually own a 1971 K1 and 2. What? Oh, Michael Raymaker. I got a phone call. Hello, Mike. How are you? Hello? I think he just pocket dialed me. He must have pocket dialed me. Oh, yeah. I own a 1971 K1 and 2 73 K3s. Oh, wow. You're a lucky guy. Scott's got a mate who's a school teacher. And he's got a bunch of them too in Canada. I can't remember his name. It just escapes me. Really good guy. He's got a beautiful bike collection. Lovely, lovely guy. Oh, why can't I remember his name? Will I get a Harley? I don't know where to put one. Retro Restore! Is that Martin? How are you? I haven't seen you for a long time. How are you, Marty? Your channel's doing so well. Do you watch $1 Million Bogan? No. He raised 100k riding a monkey bike from Geelong to Adelaide for November. I haven't seen it. Okay, XPTAs, thank you very much for joining us. It's, what is it? I'm off. I hope you have the impression of me. Thank you so much. And thanks again for all the support. You've been kind of supporting me now for a long time, and I do appreciate it. What is Etch Primer? Is Etch Primer essentially my bare steel, or is generic grey acrylic primer okay? No, use Etch Primer. You have to use Etch Primer on bare metal because it's got phosphoric acid in it and it will bite into the steel. You then put normal grey primer or high fill over the top. Grey primer or high fill, they're different, over the top of Etch. But the Etch Primer you really would only put over bare steel. I'm painting inside the boot with both painted and bare metal sections. Yeah, I just normally blow over the edge of the bare metal sections and prime over. $1 Million Bogan is funny as hell. Who was the numpty that gave you the thumbs down? Trolls should stay under the bridges. Doesn't matter. Not everyone's going to like the shit that I do. I want to get a cheap motorbike. Where are you from? If you're American, you will get a cheap motorbike. Hang on. I just lost it. Oh, what the hell? Oh, yeah. Adrian, Ryan, cooked dinner, ate and cleaned up. What have I missed? Not much. I've just been talking a bit of rubbish for an hour and 40 minutes. I don't think you missed too much there. We've been talking about other channels, actually. Some of them are really good. Would you want to be an American now? Crikey. Well, there's a lot of unrest over there at the moment, which I can't really comment on. But never met an American I didn't like. I was watching Guy's World. I was laughing it off because he was about to chuck a pick through the door because he got bugs in the paint. I recommend watching him. Is that a bit like Orange County Choppers, where they used to throw chairs through windows and this sort of stuff? Will I paint the Plymouth green again? If I had an excuse to, yes, I would. I definitely would, but I'm not. The guy's done a peach job on it, and I can't rekey it and paint it. Where do you learn how to paint? Try and error, asking a lot of questions. I'm a mechanic and an electronics technician by trade. I'm not a painter, but yeah, just asking questions and you know, the first few jobs I did were pretty crappy, but they're all right. How are you, mate? Not good. Too much drinking. Is that me? I have a heap of secondhand XD. Oh, I'll show that. Mr. Gab, that young boy wanted some XE stuff. I hope he's still here. I used to have a Mac. Oh, you had a Mac 3500? Why and how are you still here to tell the tale? Mac 3500s will go like hell in a straight line, but they don't go in corners. A lot of people lost their lives on Mac 3s. Two straight 500 Kawasaki bike from 1969. They did something like a 13-second flat quarter mile. They were just nuts. And that's considerably faster than a Phase 3 Harry, which was the fastest four-door sedan at the time in the world. I don't know about the Mercedes-Benz 300 SEL 6.3. I reckon they were just as quick. But whatever the case, a Mac 3 500 is nuts. They're now hideously expensive, and they're known as the Widowmaker. And when you watch Mac 3 500 videos, you'll see in the comments people saying, I lost a good mate on one of those. They were known for it. A lot of people passed away on Mac 3 500s. Gone. They're a nasty piece of work, but a very collectible bike. And look, Alan Milliard, watch him. He's got one that he's got a Mac 3 500 that he just did the crank on. He overhauled the crank. And he's got another one that he made a 5-cylinder. The guy's a magician. And his bikes are beautiful. Alan Milliard. Watch him. He's an Englishman. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know you had bikes. Yeah, everyone that's had a Mac 3 500 is in trouble. I agree with that, mate. I lost my dad 11 years ago. Was that on a bike, was it? How's the XC going? Thanks, Matt. It's going well. I haven't touched it, but I'll be back on it in the next month or so. I actually woke up super early to go and do some work on my CV750 this morning, but it would be much rather talk to you, Mr. Anderson. Thank you very much. I don't know that I've got too much to say now. I'm sort of all talked out. Keith, see you later, Peter. Off to work now, mate. Cheers for the videos again. Catch up with you in the next live chat. Thank you very much, Keith. And again, thanks so much for your support. What do you reckon of the crazy idea of taking the engine out of a 2016-ish Toyota and sticking it in my mate's 2001 Echo? Mighty Carmont's got an Echo, or was it a Yaris, an early Yaris, and put a 1800 with a turbocharger on it. Do you watch XA Coupe Guy YouTube channel? He was here not long ago. He might not be here anymore. Yeah, his name's Graham. He's a good guy. I'll watch him. Self-etch or epoxy primer? Don't know. Don't know. It depends. There's some of the epoxy primers. There's an epoxy etch, which is a 408 etch. That's a greeny color, carcinogenic, so you want to be fully suited in a booth before you use it. People put that down, then fill out, then more of that, then block. No, people put it down, fill out, block, and then reapply it. So the filler's encased. It's really, really good stuff, but I don't know some of those products. I would use an etch. I'd always use an etch on Van Mill. Can you check out my channel? Yeah, right. And I'd rather ride a Z1000 any day. Just emailed you. Okay, then I'll have a look. Good evening, Peter. Thanks for your guidance. Thank you very much. Still here. Yep, Graham's still here. Keep up the great work, Peter. Your videos and style are always enjoyable and honest. Take care, mate. Thank you very much. Nasty welding. Hello, Matt. All right, I'm up to date. So, what are we going to do? We've nearly been here 2 hours. Greetings, Peter. What time is it now? It's 10:05. Good to see you. Thank you very much, Dakota Man. Are you from Dakota? I wouldn't mind another tea. I've got some chips here. I've eaten the pods, and I've got some chocolate that I need tea. I've had too much of it. Maybe I should have. So, the 250 engine, I've got finished. I ordered the piston kit, haven't got it yet. I might just bang it back together and stick it in the bike, so at least the bike's sticking again. Do you know have any XW Fairmont hubcaps? The ones that came on your where is it gone? On your XW when you first bought it. I gave mine to Jason. I actually sold them on eBay, and that's how I met him. He came to bought them. I haven't got any. I used XY ones on mine because the XW ones made the tyres look too big. The XY ones are sort of like more of a full wheel cover, even though they're the same sort of thing. It just made the wheel look a bit bigger, I guess. Plus, it was a tribute to Dad's car. Love the channel. Quick story. Just bought an 07 Polo to save some cash, and it turned out to be an absolute lemon. Oh, did it really? We had a Golf that wasn't very good either. Pemright told me that the Ford Borg 1 dips need a full synthetic oil. I find it very hard to believe. What do you think? Those Ford Borg 1 dips have been in everything from God knows when they didn't have synthetic oil. They just used LS90 or just straight 98 gear oil. Don't know. Have you had a mad pedal van? No, haven't had a van. So yeah, the Suzuki's nearly done. I'm just waiting on parts. So all I've got so far are 2 plug lead things and like the ends because mine was stuffed. And a 250 badge, which I got on eBay, which is 62 bucks by the time it got here, but it's that heavy, it weighs more than all my badges put together. So I've got the engine back together. Had to repair the case. Probably should have used the other case because there was damage on this case, but I wanted to use it. What else do I have to do? I'm nearly out of it. I've got to reco the fuel tap on it just so it doesn't leak, and that bike will be finished. I've got that's the other thing I've ordered. I've ordered the master and the master and the caliper overhaul kits, so then we can do it, bleed it, and it'll have brakes. And yeah, the bike's nearly finished. And the 350 is not far off. It hasn't got an engine at the moment, but the bottom end's all done. I'm just waiting on the boring for it. The Bluebird just needs the front end kit putting in it, so I should be able to finish about 3 of the projects. So that's quite good. And then that's the XC. Where am I up to? You need PSA flashing at the bottom of the screen. Look forward to when you get back to it, yes. Sorry, Mr. Anderson, I repeat myself, but it's kind of hard to keep up with everybody here and to remember what I wrote before. Okay, I'm ready for it. I have a problem with my 57 Cutter with a 302 Clevo. I have a problem with it missing. I tested the spark plugs. One was 4.7 ohms, however, the others were 5. They're normally about 8 km per foot on the silicon leads, but you've got difference in resistance because the lead's going to be different lengths, I would think. Is it got points versus electronic? The other thing to do is I always use plastic pliers and pull each cylinder lead off at a time so I can isolate which cylinder isn't firing properly. On a V8, they quite often work quite well on 7 cylinders, but you can still pick it, if you know what I mean. And if you pick the cylinder, you can either change the plugs over or do a compression test on the cylinder that's not working properly. Because you could, if it's had LPG on it, the valve seats could be burnt. That's how I would probably start. Where am I? Hello, Pete. Hope you start another Falcon build someday. I love the way you get right into it. It's thoroughly entertaining. A lot of people wouldn't agree with that because I haven't got back into the XC for some time. But yes. You should do tutorials so you can get some views. Yeah, I should. I've asked this before, but why VL Commodores worth so much? Probably because they were great. They had the Nissan engine, which made all the difference to them. My brother bought a VL 5-speed manual Berliner, brand new, and I bought it from him, pranged it, because someone pulled out in front of him. It wasn't his fault, and it was never the same, he said, but it was perfect. It went to HGT and had Bilstein suspension put on, a turbo exhaust on it, so it was a bit bigger. That was a 2 1/4, I think. And it had the suspension done. It had aero wheels on it. It was a beautiful car. I bought it with 25,000 Ks on it, and I bought all the brand new parts for Calais front and all the side bits that go underneath the waistline, and the Calais taillights and the garnish for the back and all this stuff. So it looked like a Calais manual. It was, and I sold it at 40,000 Ks. And the rego, if you look up the rego, CWU464, it's down as stolen in 2003. And I'm very, very sure I saw it in Bayswater. In fact, I did see it in Bayswater about 10 years ago, and I didn't know at the time it was stolen. But that was a long time after when I found out. I would love to get another one, a Calais Turbo, a manual one, or something like that, but yeah, have fun. They're just huge money. There's an old XW up the back of my place that's been here when we moved here 20 years ago. It's obviously been in the bush for at least 20 years before that. Wow. What did you say? I bought a 2000 Mustang GT brand new, and it shit the engine coil and pumped the oil through the radiator. Thought it replaced the car. Big POS car, yeah. Oh, that's why well, not the engine coolers, but I always change the transmission coolers on the Ford, all the Fords, and use the PWR racing ones by themselves at the front. A proper radiator thing, 280 by 250 mil or something. And I always get rid of the radiator cooler. I always bypass it. I bypass them on all of them. It's an electric run, yes, Robert. I would be isolating which cylinder it's missing on by just when it's off, just undo all the plugs and stick the plug. Don't clip the plug leads on because they're hellish to get off when you're running and they'll give you a zap. But undo all the plug leads and then just place them over the plugs. Use some plastic pliers or some insulated pliers and just pull one the engine's running. Just pull one off at a time and try and isolate the cylinder which is misfiring. And then when you know which cylinders it is, or cylinder or cylinders, you can do a compression test. And if that looks all right, or you can just change the plugs over from a own good cylinder to the bad one, you should be able to isolate it that way. And if the compression's all right and 1 and 2 are good but 3's down, put number 2 plug in. And if it's still bad, the problem isn't in the cylinder, it's in between the distributor and the lead or the cap or something like that. Sometimes when you pull the dizzy caps off, if they're really dirty inside or cracked, they can, it only needs to be hairline cracked, the spark can jump before it gets to the plug. Where's up to? G'day, Chris. I thought it hit nearly 80 the other day. Brake caliper. Oh, yeah, all that rusty stuff that came out of it. Valves are worth so much because of the guy called Hectic Habib, and most of them are warped around trees. A video series idea. How about you present a compilation of all autos you've restored and rebuilt and who's driving them now? I'd have no way of finding out who had them. The guy that bought the Galaxy was the original owner's son, and then he sold it to his brother, so I think it went up to Brisbane, but that's the last I heard of it. Have you used KBS? Apparently it's very good. They sell it through Nelson's. It does the same sort of thing as Port 15. It's a little bit cheaper. They've got some wonderful products. Really wonderful products. Jensen Interceptor, yes. The Mark II would be my favourite. That's got the 383. I think the Mark III had the 440, but it's full of smog equipment, so they're not quite as powerful. Thanks, Robert. No worries. I need a 12-volt coil on an HQ Red 202 with points dizzy. So do I need a different coil with a ballast resistor? Go for a 12-volt coil. You can still get them. A lot of electronic ignition kits need a 12-volt coil. The ballast resistors are for a 7-volt coil, and the reason they use them is so that when the engine's cranking and the battery voltage dips down, the coil is not reliant on 12 volts, because your battery voltage can go down to 10.5 volts or whatever. But with a 7-volt coil, it's still going to get the 7 volts, if you know what I mean, and that's why they use them. A woman is in a coma in hospital with her husband by her side. The doctor says to the husband, there may be a way to help her. I've heard oral sex can help. The husband says, okay, I'll give it a go. My dad had a VL Kelly, new with FE2 suspension and the Nissan 3-litre. Went like the clappers for a normally aspirated 3-litre, quicker than a number of 350 engine cars of my mates. Don't ask how I know. They were good. The doctor closes the screen and leaves the room. After a while, the alarms start going off. The doctor runs into the room. What happened? I don't know, the husband says. I think she choked or something. Now I know where you're going. Well, what have we got? It's now 5 minutes until I've been here 2 hours, so I might have to ditch. What time is it? Yes, 20 past 10. Any questions? Yep, Milsom's is where I got it. Was going to get Port 15 after I watched you work. I recommended Rust Seal. Yeah, well, they sell it too. Going to use it on the inside of the wheel well after I pulled a dent out and repaired some of the holes on the slide, from the slide hammer just to seal it. Yeah. Tell some jokes. If you want jokes, they're at the end of all the videos and the titles. They're dad jokes, I guess, but yeah, I probably shouldn't tell the jokes on it. Also, I'll talk to you tomorrow, Arvo. Who are you again? Oh, you're in the class. That's right, Justin. You're on Teams. I've got my computer here. I use Teams, this online teaching. Hey, Peter, best wishes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I like all your bids, but we need more on the Ford. You'll get more on the Ford. Sorry. What was that blue silver colour on the VL Calais? Awesome colour. Don't know. I know the interior colour was cerulean, but I don't know what the other one was. Thoughts on Eastwood products? Eastwood? What do they sell? Can you remind me? Eastwood. I know the brand. Oh, you're the kid with the rambler. I beg your pardon. Andrew Langford. Andrew Langford. How are you? Andrew Langford's an ex-student who works at the Records in the time while he's studying. I don't like 415. I find it's not applied perfectly. It'll end up being like a skin that allows water to sit under it. I kind of agree. And I'll tell you why. I put it on the XW. 415 is great if it's got something to stick to, or it's keyed or etched. But if you stick it over paint, it peels off in a sheet. That's why I haven't got Dynamat in any of the cars either, because if you stuff up fitting it, I reckon once moisture gets under it, you're cooked. Don Strix, thanks heaps, Pete, for all the answers. Feel free to email me if you need any XD to BA parts. Oh, thank you very much. Where are you? Are you local? Are you in Melbourne? VR. I knew someone with a VR. Take the plastic from Spotlight Tip. We worked a treat on my Hyundai XL door. Is that the for inside the door, between the door and the door trim? Is that what you mean? I bought it for something else. Oh, Gembrook, yeah, that's right. You're just around the corner. I bought it for something else and ended up using it on the. I think I used it on the XC. Yeah, I used it on the XC and I used it on the Sigma, I think. Are there many Centuras left out there? I reckon they're mad. Centuras were good. 265 in a small car. Ooh, oversteer. Haven't seen one in ages. I actually haven't seen one in ages. It's like the Marina 6. No one liked them, but I wouldn't mind driving them. Not that no one liked the Centuras. The Mopar stuff was always more popular. Yeah, there was a bit of a primer under it, and it wouldn't sit. Even if you wire wheel too much, you can post slightly. Yeah, it seems to be. It seems to be quite. I think it was hyped a bit. Let's put it that way. But you ought to do more video from scrapyard visits. It's a lost pleasure now in the UK. I love going to the wreckers. Got to watch these serves. You know, there's one record close to here, and this guy goes through bolts. Oh, $5, $10. You know, it's like this. Before you know it, you're walking out of there $200 with like 2 things. But the guys that pick apart are very good. You fess up, you're honest with everything, you take it there and you say, how much is this? And they always look after you. They're good. There's one guy there that's probably a bit more itemizes everything like fully, but I've walked out. Like Bluebird stuff I bought, the head-up display was $10 or something, $20. It was absolutely stuff all. I was going to say something else. We had 2 Centuras and you're here to tell the tale. Comes Easter on a Monday. I don't know if I'm allowed to go though. Are people still going there now? It's stage 4. I don't think we're allowed to. Telling me, yeah, okay. They're good though. There's a lady that works there. Almost like an Indigenous appearance, and she's just lovely. She's the nicest lady. Been a great way to wind down. Hard need that PSA. What's PSA? I forgot. I haven't seen you at Pick Apart. The Kiwi lady. Oh, yes, she's a Kiwi. She might be married or something. She is the nicest lady. God, she's nice. And I've sat there and talked to her for ages. She was the one that served when Rosie was picking up rocks. She's just a doll. She's so sweet. Yeah, I'll have to get down there again. You're allowed to come in if you're within 5K. If it's for emergency repair. I do have some emergency repairs. But I don't know if it's responsible. I've been really good with the Audrey, yes, I'll remember that. I've been really good with the 5K business and the lockdown and only going out once a day if I need to for the shops and also to support Mum. I went today, for example, to buy mandarins and some nuts and bits and pieces for Mum. So I've been obeying everything. You better get your assignment done, buddy. Is this the one that I gave you? No. That's different. Yeah, that's right. You're not my student. There was one of my students here before. Oh, she's all right. You know, she's up and down. The news turned up at the the Channel 7 camera guy and his interviewer turned up at Donwood in Croydon. That's where Mum is. And, you know, they asked me to come and do an interview. And so, you know, I went down and stuck my school kit on and went down. See you, buddy. Take care. Squatch over 7Ks. I don't know how far I am from it. I went out to buy beer and petrol and get my mail. That's ill. Yeah, I'm doing the same, and it sort of pisses me off a bit when I keep seeing people doing the wrong thing. Like these dickheads on the news that won't wear masks. I mean, you must be a fucking idiot. Why would you do that? Why would you rag up the police and not wear a mask? It's like that stupid woman that wouldn't stop in the car and the cops waved her through, but they arrested her later, which was great. Ah, PSA. Yeah, so I might come back less cases today at least. Yeah, there are, and it's going down slowly. But look at New Zealand. Jacinda Ardern hasn't had anything there for ages. And then a COVID case turns up, and they reckon it's through freight. I mean, what are you doing? You should do T-shirts and the caption, "It's all good," and your cheeky grin on it, or just don't just look at it, plate it. I haven't plated. I didn't plate anything on the stuff. Yeah, but you know what? Okay, I'll tell you something. Working on a Suzuki today, the JIS bolts for the cases look crap. So I decided I've got a whole lot of extra JIS bolts from the Honda, which I bought new, which were like 40 cents each, and Honda put every little bolt in individual bags, and I'm going to see if I can make one fit, have enough there to make them fit. The only thing this COVID shit has done is shown how many morons live among us. I'm going to definitely show that, and I appreciate that, Graham, because there are more dickheads that can poke a stick at. Have you been up to Big Ballarat Swap Meet? No. I've meant to go a couple of times and I just haven't. And getting accommodation up there. I thought it was Bendigo, the Swap Meet. Public service announcement, rear the XC, go. Come on, Harvo 351, go. Do you want me to talk about the XC, or are you going to say something about it? I need to eat chips. Sorry, guys. I shouldn't eat while I'm talking, but these are Pringles and they're going to get eaten. Oh, yeah. About the Kawasaki, all right, and the rear frame I do not like. Yeah, Bendigo. Well, let's say this has been wonderful, but it's been 2 hours. Oh, yeah, you want Pringles? Look, one of the kids did this, and there's Pringles and there's chocolate and there was pods as well. I'm not so much into pods, but I sort of nibbled them before. There's sour cream and onion. They're really good, or sour cream and chives, whatever the hell they are. So, oh yeah, good if you can sleep. I can take the Commodore. I can sleep in there. I'm gonna go. And I want to say thank you so much to everyone for joining, because I really like doing this. But I kind of hang off from doing it every now and then. Everyone for joining, because I really like doing this. But I kind of hang off from doing it every now and then because I don't want to appear desperate. You know what I mean? Like everyone does. Live feeds is good if you do it every now and then. If you sort of overdo it, it looks a bit, you know. You may certainly send me an email. Anyone wants to send me an email, they can. I can't guarantee I'll answer it straight away though. I've got to go and have a shower, and I might go outside again. I feel like going outside. But I've got a full day tomorrow, school day. So we'll have to get some sleep. Anyone here watch Joe Kenda? I absolutely love Joe Kenda. Anyone from Colorado Springs? Any Americans? I love Joe Kenda. Watch Homicide Hunter. See you guys. Bye-bye. Yeah, watch Joe Kenda if you can. It's called Homicide Hunter, and he's an ex-Colorado Springs police detective, and he, yeah, we'll get into the XC, don't worry. And he solved 400 homicides. Love watching him. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. I've been on a bit over 2 hours. I'm going to go have a shower, and I think it's time to put the kettle on. So thanks very, very much indeed. Take care of yourselves, guys. Look after yourselves and enjoy your evening.